And we're live. Thank you so much for joining me and coming back on the show. I noticed that in the end that for some reason or other our show had been cut off, so you were missing a great deal of the show. I'm gonna turn these lights down. Does that help any? Or should we turn this one off? Is that better? Okay, we're gonna take those lights out because it's really causing a problem here. I am Omi Inca. I am from your Omi Inca's production studio by way of Oracle Divination Network. And we had made a commitment on Oracle Divination Network that we were going to be true to form and that we were going to do libations and readings for the nation and for our people, not individual readings. Now, as you know, I have my headdress on when I wear my Eleke beads. These are the beads that were consecrated, that were given to me as a gift. I'm going to pour libation again just to reactivate that reading, and I'm going to give you my interpretation of that reading. In the name of Olodula Mare, we call upon Olodula Mare as we pour libation and we hollow out this spot for an area that will be set aside. I pour libations, I say libation, Ashe. I pour libation to my mother spirit and I say Ashe for Yahweh one, the one that is bright and as we begin to call on those names as the great one, and ladies and gentlemen, if you are not in the mindset of doing rituals, you should get in the mindset of doing rituals and preparing libation in your home. You should even do libations out in the courtyard, out in the community, teaching others how to pour libation. And the purpose of libation is to set aside your home for protection and in holiness, and having this area hollowed out for holiness at this time. Now, I just did a reading earlier today, and that reading was number 8 in the De Lagoon, and it was talking about eyelid, and it went into a story where there was a man who had a daughter who became very sick, and he wanted one of the old Romala to come out to his house to assist this young girl and to aid her in her plight of illness. However, the gentleman said he was not accustomed to going to do house calls. That wasn't a part of his MO. And he sent word back to, Oromala sent word back to this man that he was sorry, even though he was a king, that he just didn't do house calls. And if he wanted to see him, then he must call upon him himself. So I guess the man got pretty darn desperate, and he decided to step down from his kingship for a minute and go to seek out this Oromala's house. He noticed that the ceiling or the door to Oromala's house was rather lowered, and he could not get in without bumping his head. And he bumped his head when he went through the door, and his crown fell off his head and rolled down the hill into the communities and into someone's home. He had to humble himself by going to every one of those houses. Did you see my crown I dropped? No. Did you see my crown that I dropped? No, we didn't. Did you see my crown that I dropped? No, we didn't. This was a very humbling experience for him to lower himself so low to be able to go to commoners' homes to ask had they seen the crown. The man that was supposed to tend to his daughter, he did tend to his daughter, and he gave his daughter the cure to heal her. because of her father humbling himself as a king to come down to commoner's level and to allow himself to go to each one of those homes. He awarded this man with the healing for his daughter. Now, what is this saying about African Americans ruling again? It's saying that we may have been stiff-necked people in the first place, and that's what caused us to lose the rulership of the land on Turtle Island. Because we could not humble ourselves, we lost our spot. But in order for us to get our spot back for rulership, we must learn to humble ourselves and bring ourselves down a notch or two, and not to become stiff-necked people, and not to be so high and mighty that we can't go to commoners' homes to present ourselves. If this is going to be the case, then that means that we as African Americans are going to have to humble ourselves a lot and bring rather simple, but it's fitting and to the point. And they're ready to do more for a person that they cannot see than for somebody that is actually living here in this